One thing I've been using recently with Capture One's new update is the retouch faces, right? Now, this is pretty new, and I think they released it in the beta form and then put in like their new update. And it's been decent, and I've been using it alongside my retouching actions. And I do like it. I still feel like it's pretty new, and hopefully it gets to the point where it works on the whole body. Now I'll tell you how I use it and how I do not use it. So when it comes to using it, right, I really just use the blemishes because I feel like this is the most time wasting part of my retouching. Every other thing is easy for me to do. So if I have something that will take out like the blemishes for me, then I'll go ahead and use that. And this does a pretty decent job, as you guys can see. This is the before and this is the after. It does a really decent job. Now obviously it does not take everything away, because if you zoom into the image you see all these other parts here. You still have like all those things that you have to clean up, but for the most part, if you look at this part of her face, I'm just going to remove the impact. You see the before and you see the after. It does a really good job cleaning up the face. Now the part that I don't use is the even skin. The even skin for me is such a weird one that even when it works, the image just looks really smooth and weird in a way. I don't like using it. So in this image, it's literally not doing anything. So for the most part, I'm not going to use it. Another part I don't use, or another thing I don't use, is the contouring, which is kind of like dodge and burn. As you guys can see, it just does a very weird job. I will not use that. So for the most part, I think the blemishes is amazing, and the fact that you can use it in Capture One is really good. So for an image like this, what I'll do is just take it into Photoshop and obviously get it looking like this, and I'll show you guys exactly how I'll do that. Now it really depends. If you have my retouching actions, you can either use the portrait retouching action for an image like this, or you can go ahead and use the median from my retouching essentials pack, not my pro retouching pack, and you can use that. It really just depends on what you want to do, but for an image like this, I can see the way her face looks, and her face looks good, by the way. But there's just some things that I would like to, I would say, take out. So I'll probably use the portrait retouching action from my pro retouching pack for something like this. And the reason is because I want to be able to use micro dodge and burn too. Now if I was going to use the median frequency separation and also action, and also use my mixer brush tool, what I'll do is I will probably do micro dodge and burn first before I do anything. But in a situation like this, what I'm just going to do is jump into this action here that you guys can get from my digital store. Links will be in the description below. Pick my clone stamp tool, and right now I don't have a lot to do, so I'm just probably going to take out a few of these blemishes in here that are still showing. Just take those out, because Capture One has done a pretty decent job in fixing up every other thing. Like most of the ones that you can see, Capture One has probably taken those out. So it's done a really good job. Now remember, this portrait is going to be seen like this, so I don't have to do too much for an image like this. And just probably going to take this away from the hand, and I think we're good. And that's why I really like the new Capture One update. Like I said, I don't use everything. I just use the blemish removal. I think it does a great job for me. So I'm going to pick my white brush, flow somewhere around 18%, and then I'm just going to paint here on my action. So make sure it's white, soft and white. Just paint all over my subject's face, nose. What I'll do is avoid the lips, and anywhere that I don't want the action to work on. For the body, I'm probably just going to go down to like maybe this, and then just paint, because I don't want it to be too much. I want her body to look natural. So something like this, right? So if I show you guys the before and after real quick, look, before, after, you guys can see that it's fixed up the whole face. What I can do is I can come into blending and just reduce the opacity of my blending, so everything looks a lot better. Yes. And let's see how before, after. You guys can see the face is fixed all that up. And now what I can do is I can jump into my complete dodge and burn, come into my invert check layer. Remember, right now I'm dodging and burning my image. Invert check layer. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why I am dodging and burning this image. Now, when it comes to, I'll probably take my flow to 1%, right? And I'll come to micro dodge and burn here. So when it comes to your subject's face, the one thing that you need to focus on is how gravity affects your subject's face. For the most part, our face tends to our faces generally tend to fall the older we grow. And that's just because of the effect of gravity, right? So if you see her cheek here, you can see how gravity is affecting it, right? So what we're just going to do is we're just going to burn this part right here, and then we'll pick our dodge and then dodge this part. So everything is just light and shadows, right? So dodge is lightening some certain parts of your subject's face, and dodge is darkening some certain parts of your subject's face, right? And then we'll just reduce this smile line right here and how much it's showing. Probably zoom into our face a bit more. Pick this brush here, and then just this is our burn. We'll just burn some places. I do have a full video on micro dodge and burn, so you guys can check that out and just learn how micro dodge and burn works. So just something like this, just fix up this space. I'm not going to work on her body too much. I want some parts to look pretty natural, and here I think it's just too sharp. Okay, so something like this. If we do zoom out now, you can see I think I did too much, and now I can actually just burn some of these places, dodge some of these places. And let's see what our micro dodge and burn has done. You guys can see just that shadow underneath here, like her cheekbone. So let me show you guys the before. You guys can see it's gone, and your subject automatically looks younger. So that's a very simple way to a simple way that I retouch my portraits right now. I just use the blemish function in Capture One to remove a lot of those blemishes. Then I come into Photoshop and use my actions to just clean things up. So I can just click my eyes, whitening action right here. This is for free, my digital store, so you can check that out. Zoom in, and then let's just whiten our eyes. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are a couple AI softwares that'll do this for you too, but I personally, first things first, I wish we could do it in Photoshop, but right for now we can't do it in Photoshop. And since we can't do it in Photoshop, I am fine just using two different softwares, which is my raw processing software and this, and it really doesn't take me a lot of time. And also, like I said, my images just look the way I want them to look, so it's like my thing. I have full control on how I want it to look and where I want to take it and where I want to leave there, and I think I still like having that control. So now I can go to my global dodge and burn, pick my brush tool. Flow is going to be 3%, and then I'll just come to my dodge and then just dodge a few places here. As you guys can see, I'm not even zooming into dodge. For the most part, when it comes to portraits, I tend not to do too much. I just have it looking the right way that I want it to look, and I'm good. It was lit well, so we're good. So for an image like this, for the most part, I think we're good. If anything, I'll probably just throw one of my lots on this. So I do have my signature skin tone lots for 6. I'll probably just throw that, and maybe go ahead and throw a 4 on top of it too, but I'll definitely reduce the opacity of this one. So I'll probably just throw a 4 on it too, and then reduce the opacity of the 4. So something like this, and the opacity of the 6 too, something like this. I don't know, so maybe something like this. And let's see how before and after. After, I'm just going to zoom in so you guys can see it. Before, after, and we'll have an image that looks pretty darn good in my own opinion, right? So just so I can save space, what I'm just going to do is that I'm just going to put everything into one. Maybe I should put everything into one layer apart from the color lookup layer, right? Delete my invert check layer. If you want to expand your background, right? So just Command Option Shift and E, Control Alternate Shift and E. And that's just going to create like a stamp visible layer. And what we're going to do is just use our crop tool to expand the image, right? Click enter. It's going to take a while. Crop this out, and you can either use the what's that tool? You can either use the fill content aware tool, which I think works way better sometimes than the generative fill tool. So content aware, you guys can see, looks good. And then we're going to do content aware here to fill content aware. And the reason why I do it sometimes is just so that I can post on Instagram and then the whole image will show. And yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Doesn't look the best, but for the most part it's not bad. Yeah, and then we can save this image and we're done. I'll probably go into Capture One and add some I'll add some noise to it in Capture One, just and then at the end of the day we're good to go. So typically this is how I would retouch an image right now, using Capture One's AI alongside my retouching presets that I have, my retouching actions, and it just makes life a little easier for me, and it just makes everything faster. But anyways, if you guys want to check out my actions, link will be in the description below. And if you want to see other videos that I teach how to retouch, for example, how to use dodge and burn and all that stuff, then I'll put links in the description below to that too. So anyways, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.